This video, I'm going to show you how I do my mid drop ball fades. Now this is kind of in between a mid and a low fade because I still want to leave a lot of his C cup area present. This client plans on getting braids at a later date, so we will not be going above his hat line area. And here I'm showing you the reason why we call it a mid drop fade. That drop refers to how it drops down in the back. A traditional mid fade would have consistently went straight back over the ear and would cut off about 3 inches higher in the back than we're doing now. This contours to the shape of the skull and in my opinion just makes the blend look better. So we balled out that area after we used our liners, and now I'm coming in with my magic clips that are zero gapped. Open them all the way. I'm making a small area that's about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. You can't really see it because he's got gray hair and it just kind of blends in, but what I do now is I close the lever all the way and I just kind of get that bottom line out. Most times you're going to end up starting another line of demarcation within that area, or there's just dark spots left, and you remove those by opening your lever to the halfway position. Now we throw the one guard on there and we're starting a whole nother area. Now this area is going to be a lot wider than that first area. Now, if you're doing a low fade, you're not going to make that wide because you're really trying to keep that blend low. So now that I got a nice, neat area, I'm going to put on my half guard all the way open. Then I'm going to cycle through my lever positions like I talked about in other videos. So what that is I got my lever open. I go 3/4 of the way into the one guard area. I close it down to about halfway. I drop down to the halfway mark of the one guard area. Then I close it one more notch. I drop down to the quarter mark of the one guard area. Then I close it all the way. And you'll see me connecting the one guard area with the lever open, no guard area. It's tricky with people that got different directions of growth pattern, but you just take the time to identify what the problem is and you do what's in front of you. Don't work yourself up. Don't get overwhelmed. If there's still a dark spot, adjust your lever to a shorter position. It's very simple. We could tend to overthink very easy tasks in haircutting. Trust me, I did it for years. So as a means to keeping it lower, this blend not going up too high, we threw the 2 guard on there and went with the grain. And that really wasn't doing what I wanted, so I attempted with a clipper over comb technique. And this here, you just look where the dark spot is you want to cut. You lift that hair up, and you just make sure that those are the hairs creating the dark spot before you cut them all off. It's very simple. It can look tricky. It took me years to really get used to it, and now I can do it with ease. Just over and over practicing. But being too hard on yourself can limit your creative abilities. You're always going to think you're wrong. You got to give yourself a little grace when you're cutting. On the beard connection, we're just going in at a reverse. Sometimes you could get away with just using your one guard and then no guard. Sometimes you don't even need your half guard to blend the beard in. Sometimes you do. Things vary between different clients and how your hands working that day for real. So after spot treating some of the blend with my one guard, I played with the lever a little bit, went in with it halfway open, then closed it all the way just to get any darkness out. And you see I didn't have to do that all throughout the blend. It was just in some spots. Making sure that area stays all the way lubricated with a shave gel above the mustache is very important. If they have dry skin there, be careful because it will cut and dig into the skin very easily. Having the client puff out creates that flat surface when you're swooping that mustache into the beard. Is perfect for that. And what we do to one side, we do to the other. So reassuring that the shave gel is still wet before I pass my blade over the skin. Then I begin to start my line, initiate my line. I do not normally use my liners for the top line of the beard to set in that line. What I usually do is I hit it with the razor line once, and then I'll comb that product away and make sure there's no hair, no cut hairs in there, and then I make another pass with the razor. This has set me up for a successful enhancement later as well. Even if he didn't get it enhanced, you'd still see his beard from across the room because we didn't trick ourselves with an ash line or a product line. And picking at it with your 3 or 4 teeth on the side is very helpful when fine-tuning it. And I use my masters from Andis because they have a longer blade for some of my fine tuning work. Now I check my beard top line from the rear quarter panel of the client's head, and I see some hairs that are coming above the line. That doesn't mean I need to lower the line. It means I need to hit the hairs that are coming over that line. And now I'm just framing my work with a natural ash line, which really helps you check symmetry when you check from the front, and it also makes sure that there's no hairs coming above that line. You can use shears to blend on curly hair in certain situations. I used it there, a shear point technique, just to hit that one small dark spot. Here's another nice way, easy way to see the strays coming over your lineup. We have a good line there, but the hairs that are inside that line can grow upwards sometimes and take away from the crispiness. So we twisted them up and really seeing where we're at. Double check the lineup after we twisted them. And now I'm checking the blend from the front. This gives you a different perspective from the side view and allows you to see flaws you didn't see. It's also very important. All my best haircuts are when I'm doing tutorials because I'm looking through the camera most of the time and I'm double checking my blend before I move on. So use your camera as a second perspective whenever you're trying to do your best work. Right, follow these steps, you get the same exact result. If you see a dark mark, you close your lever more. You knock it out.